Hey guys, Southeast Softwash. Been meaning to put this video out there for you guys on roof cleaning mitigation techniques for the runoff. So looking at the roof behind us, we're cleaning this roof today. It's not really bad, but I wanted to let you guys see how we manage runoff. So first thing you do when you pull up to a job is take a look at the landscape and see how they have it set up. You know, this one's a pretty easy one. They've got all this pea gravel in here, so you can't damage that. And then they've got some pretty hardy shrubbery, so that stuff's, you know, pretty hard to kill. It's not a lot of delicate petunias or like a big flower bed or Japanese maples, roses. Those things do not like SH at all. So take a look at this and we see pretty quickly, okay, it's not going to be too much of a problem. Gutters and downspouts, they are your friend. They do help a lot. So if you've got a gutter, and most houses do, what we'll typically do is we'll take a hose, we'll put it up that gutter downspout, you know, just shove it up there about 6 inches or so and cut it on about halfway, let it run the entire time that you're doing that section of the roof. We'll let it run even after we've moved to the next section and just really dilute that whole area at the bottom of the downspout. What that's going to do is as the runoff is coming down, it's mixing with that water and it's going to dilute it down to the point where it's not going to harm anything. If you don't have gutters, like this side of the house, I don't know why, but this side doesn't have any gutters. Everything else does. So if we were cleaning this side, what we would probably do, again, these particular shrubs are very hardy. We would pre-rinse everything, wet it off, spray the roof, hang out over here a little extra time, and just make sure that we've rinsed, you know, until everything has kind of stopped dripping, and then rinse one more good time and you're going to be fine. Now, if they had some kind of super delicate plants here, we may tarp those, but again, that's just a case-by-case basis, looking at the types of landscaping that they have, and gutters or no gutters, what do you got that you're working with. If the downspout is like this, it's pretty far away from those bushes, that's not going to be a problem. If one of those shrubs was right there beside that downspout, we'd probably want to flood it a little bit longer and start flooding it before we even started the roof, just to soak those roots and get them wet before any SH comes down. So it's just things like that you have to look out for. Another technique you can do is to plug the gutter from the top. Take something like a little foam Nerf ball will work really good. Cram it down in there, it'll seal that up. Put your hose up there in the tray of the gutter and fill it up with water. Everything that runs down at that point is going to mix with all that water, and then when you get finished, pull the little plug out, let it run down, and I would probably still flood the bottom of the downspout at that point, just to be an extra amount of water that everything's rinsing, mixing in with and diluting it. So that's something else you can do. We normally don't do that because we have really good success with just running the hose up the gutter, and that's easier. But you can do that. So some guys like to tarp everything and they're super crazy worried about plant life, and yes, you do have to take care of the plant situation. That's basically why there's two of us at every job. It's mostly just for landscape issues and stuff like that. If you go out and do a $600 roof cleaning and you do $1,000 worth of damage to landscaping, well, that math don't work. You're going to be out of business pretty quickly. So take care of your landscaping. Looking at the house behind us, we washed this roof about 3 months ago, and everything's just like it was when we left. So same thing, hardy shrubbery, downspouts, we flooded them. This whole section right here was just solid black. Again, that's facing north, so everything facing that way on these houses are really dirty. Nothing's any different than it was when we got here. I do like to take photos if I think about it when I pull up to a job. Especially if I see a shrub or something that's damaged when we get there, I'll snap a photo of that. That way the homeowner can't come back in 3 months and say, hey man, this bush out here is dead. A lot of times the homeowners, they're so busy with life, they don't even notice stuff until you come out clean the roof. They go to walking around checking out how good it looks, they see a dead bush, they don't even realize that it's been dead. So if you see something like that, snap yourself a photo, it can save your butt. But yeah, that works. That technique, flooding the downspouts, works 99% of the time. In 13 years of roof cleaning, I have killed 2 bushes. And the way I did that was a downspout that I flooded on one side, and I did not realize that it wrapped around the corner of the house and had another downspout, and that one was going right to a little box hedge like these behind us. And so it killed it because I didn't do anything around the corner. I thought I was good to go. It's like 10 years ago. I was young and in a hurry, and it was a mistake, so I had to take care of that. But in 13 years, only killing a couple of bushes and I think I hurt some hanging baskets one time. The wind caught some overspray. It was a pretty hot mix. But yeah, your stuff's gonna happen, but you gotta try to take all the precautions that you can to make sure you don't have those issues. And we very, very, very rarely do. So I know those techniques work because we use them all the time. Dilution is the solution to pollution. So keep that in mind, diluting everything down. And if you're spraying the roof right, you're not gonna have a lot of runoff anyway. 3 to 4% mix going up, fan spray, thick surfactant, you're not gonna have a lot of runoff. So if you just got a bunch of runoff coming down a gutter, you probably need to look at your surfactant, make sure it's thick enough, make sure your ratios are right. You shouldn't have to deal with a whole lot. I'm gonna let you guys see this little tool that we use here. These type shrubs, very hardy. And luckily where we live, this is the way most people landscape. So they're real tough box hedges, these bushes and stuff. Even this grass like this, it's pretty hard to kill that stuff. If you follow those techniques, you'll be fine. But we do want to make sure we rinse, so we like these little bars. They've got a fan tip and a string tip, and that's what you get. So it doesn't take very long at all to walk around, pre-wet everything down. Rinse it off, you know, and that's normally what the cameraman does while I'm spraying, is he'll be taking care of all the landscaping, make sure it stays wet. Roof cleaning is good to have another guy there. If you're trying to do it by yourself, you need to do it in sections so that you can apply, get down and rinse off shrubbery, make sure you don't have any runoff issues. If you got 2 guys there, then it's no issue at all. So he's pretty much just rinsing the entire time. Now I wouldn't rinse this bush because it's 10 feet away from the house. It's not gonna get anything on it. But those ones up there by the house, we're gonna rinse those off. So just some options. I know some guys like to use the tubing method, where they'll take some 6-inch clear tubing, put it over the gutter and maybe zip tie it, and then they'll run that out to another spot in the landscape somewhere and let it dump. I don't like that. You have to buy that tubing, keep it on the truck, get rid of it at the end of the job. If it gets a hole in it, it's gonna leak out. You may not even realize it, it's gonna hurt something. So I don't like that method. It's just personal preference, but do what you want. Anyway, guys, that's how you deal with runoff for roof cleaning. Don't spray too much on the roof, no more than it needs. That's gonna help out. Rinse pre-wet in the summer, especially when it's hot. Rinse on the end, on the back side of the job. Rinse, rinse, rinse. When you think you're done, rinse some more. Flood your downspouts. Tarp only if needed. We actually damaged a hydrangea bush last year. The homeowner did it. We were rinsing and he didn't think that was gonna be good enough, so he threw a piece of clear plastic over a hydrangea bush, and just the heat of that greenhouse effect, it killed, more or less killed. I think it bounced back. So even with tarping, there's some different issues you got there too. So we don't normally like to tarp stuff. If you know what you're doing, you don't have to do all that. So anyways, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys are having fun out there washing. Springtime is upon us, so we're gonna get back at it on this job, and we'll check in with you later.